If you're watching today's video, I'm pretty sure that you are on your own journey of rebranding and just becoming a different version of yourself.
First time in a long time, hurting deeply inside.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm Chelsea. If you're new here, I do lifestyle, beauty, fashion content. I also talk about how to curate a life that you can't get enough of. So if that sounds like your vibe, I hope you decide to subscribe and join the family. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. We'll be discussing a few tips that's going to ensure that 2025 is your biggest and best rebrand year yet. We're going to be talking about how to rebrand your life and level up. If there's anybody that can talk about this topic, it would be me. Because if you've watched my previous videos or if you've just followed along from the very beginning, I have definitely had a major rebrand and I'm still in the process of rebranding. This video was very fitting, so hopefully you guys find these tips and tricks to be helpful along your journey. Because if you're watching today's video, I'm pretty sure that you are on your own journey of rebranding and just becoming a different version of yourself. So hopefully you find some value within these tips and you're able to apply them to your rebrand journey. A little bit of background about myself. The beginning of 2024 for me was a very pivotal period, and I would say it was like my little rough patch that I went through. I just felt like I just was not at my fullest potential. I was overcritical about myself. Every piece of content that I created, I would critically review it and be like, oh, this isn't good enough, or oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that. And that really caused a lot of the problems that I was going through at the beginning of the year. But something shifted in me and I said, you know what, I'm gonna take things into my own hands and I'm gonna control the narrative. And that's exactly what I did, and that's what I've been doing ever since. That's not me saying that the whole journey or the whole process has not had its ups and downs, because it definitely has. But what I will say, I have come a long way, and I'm sure you guys are able to see that as well. When it comes to your rebrand journey, you have to remember that this is your journey. So this is the journey of you deciding and choosing to be a different version of yourself. And just remember that you can rebrand as many times as you need to. The goal is to just level up your life and to curate a life that you literally cannot get enough of. That's what rebrand means to me, which is what led me to decide to start and begin my own personal rebrand journey. It wasn't for aesthetics. It wasn't just to be cute on the internet. It literally was for me to work on me and to just level up in life. And that's the whole purpose of life. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to grow. We are leaving the first quarter. So if you're just not stumbling across this video in the second quarter, this is the perfect opportunity for you to start. Or even if you're watching this at the end of the year, this is also a great opportunity for you to start and lead into a new year with a different mindset, because really our mindset shifts everything. One thing that will always be a true statement for me is that the way you think shifts your life. How you think, how you perceive things definitely has a major impact on your life, especially if you have committed yourself to thinking negatively. You need that mindset shift. So this video will be the perfect video for you if you are interested in leveling up and just becoming the best version of yourself in 2025. You get to write the story exactly how you want to write it. One great example of this, you guys, not only myself, when I look over my own rebrand journey and where I started and where I am right now, I think about my mindset. My mindset has completely shifted from the girl I was in 2021. And there are a lot of great examples of this, but one person I must say would have to be Jayy. I have been seeing clips of her TikToks of her on her YouTube channel and how she was talking about the process and how she was talking about the frustration of growing into this person that she has become now. And of course, we don't know her personally, but just to follow her journey to where she is now, to where she was 5 years ago, sitting in her room talking about, sometimes she would write songs and she would feel that they were bad, or sometimes she even said that she thought that some of her music was bad or some of her performances were bad.
I need to be creative whether it will sell or not. Sometimes I will perform badly, I'll write badly, I'll film badly, but I have a right to do that in order to get to the other side. You'll get through that. It's bad right now, but eventually you'll get to that other side, and you're allowed to do that, and that is okay.
You have to go through all of those things, the good, the ugly, in order to get to the person that you desire to be, or in order to get to the space where you desire to be. I feel like that is a great example, because sometimes it's going to take time. Sometimes you can do a rebrand and you may have to shift again, and you may have to do another rebrand. You have to rebrand as many times as you need to until you get it right. There is no set way in which you should go about it. You have to do what's best for you, but you also have to give yourself grace in the the freedom to evolve and just be different. And also, you have to give yourself the grace to say, hey, you know, you may create something and it may not be your best work, but that's going to get you to your best work. That is such a beautiful point that she said in that video, because you have to do those things in order to get the big thing. You have to go through the process of just being somebody different, or just trying and not being afraid to try. So I want to say that first, when it comes to your rebrand, you have to remove the fear of being afraid to be seen trying. That is only going to hinder you from the person that you desire to be. Which leads me into my second tip of today's video on your rebrand journey and how you're going to start your rebrand. You have to have a mindset shift, okay? You have to step out of the negative. If you have been finding yourself in this negative spiral or overly critical about the things that you do or how you show up in life, you have to remove all of the criticism and all of the negative self-talk that you're doing. You have to reprogram your mind. If you didn't know, I have a background in psychology. I have my bachelor's degree in psychology. So understanding the mind and how we think has always been of importance to me, because I love to know how people think, and I also love to know and understand the reason for why I feel the way I feel. And I learned this tip from Joe Dispenza, but your brain constantly repeats the same things over and over again. You have to reprogram your thinking and shift into the positive. What if this rebrand is the best decision that you could have ever made? What if thinking to do something different is the thing that changes your life? Hopefully this video inspires you to take action and actually reprogram your mind and start making those shifts now instead of later, because you will thank yourself. The more you prolong it, the more you procrastinate, is only going to hinder your growth. Growth loves speed, okay? You can't delay the process. You can't say, oh, well, I'm gonna try, you know, in the next 3 months, or I'm gonna try next Monday. Then next Monday rolls around and you do nothing. You have to start now, exactly with what you have, with the resources that you have, especially with YouTube and the different platforms that we have. It's so many different ways for you to learn different ways of thinking and how to transform your mind. Watching videos like this, or videos like from Mel Robbins or Joe Dispenza, and the list goes on and on. It can help you shift your thinking, and that is going to get you to your next step when it comes to your rebrand journey, because you can't think about things as they are right now. You can't stay in the 3D. You have to actually be a little bit delusional, okay? You got to step into that Delulu mode and start thinking about, what if things do work out, or what if your dreams do come true, or what if you start taking your health seriously, or what if you get fit, or what if you get healthier than you've ever been. I play with those ideas because that is going to help you along your journey. And I also have something very special for you guys coming up. Make sure that you stay up to date with all of my videos so you won't miss it, because this will be very beneficial for you, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. But for today, I do have a special treat. I have a little worksheet that I would like you to do if you get some time. I feel like this will be very beneficial. This worksheet will help you reflect and analyze over your current habits and your past habits, and also get aligned with your desires. The worksheet that I have for you guys will be linked in the description box, and it is free. So you can do it on your personal time, but along your rebrand journey. And this worksheet will help you develop and just learn different things about yourself along your rebrand journey, and make shifts that you need to make along the process. So hopefully you guys do enjoy that, but don't forget, I do have some exciting things coming. So don't forget to stay tuned and set your notifications so that you won't miss a video, because I would hate for you to miss this opportunity. Being that we talked about the worksheet, that leads me to my second tip. My second tip will have to be self-reflect on your past year and analyze what worked and what didn't. If there was something last year that didn't work for you and you felt like you kind of took it into 2025, look over those things, write it down, and figure out what worked and what didn't. Whatever didn't work, that means that you have to do the opposite. So you have to start making those shifts. If you know for sure, like, waking up at 9 a.m. was not working for you, and you were always late to work, or you were always late or behind on your task, that means that you need to make a shift and start getting up earlier. That may look like you going to bed earlier as well, so that you can make sure that you're getting up on time. Those type of things are going to be essential for your rebrand, because we're stepping into the new. The new you is not late. The new you does not procrastinate, so that you can see what it is that may need some adjustment. And if it is something that needs adjustment, you go ahead and you take actionable steps. You go ahead and you take that action, because you know that it will be beneficial to you in the future. Even for myself, for example, when I started my rebrand journey, I had to go ahead and take action. Honestly, you guys, at the very very beginning, when I even thought about doing my rebrand, I was nervous. I was nervous about how it would be received. And my first video that I made actually blew up, and I was so surprised. I just got on here and started talking. I didn't have a script. I didn't have anything written down. I just literally told you guys what I was doing, and you guys received it so well. So I say that to say, don't be afraid to just do it, okay? Even if it's messy, even if it's not pretty, especially if you are a content creator and you're on your rebrand journey and you're outwardly showing people what you're doing. It may be pretty to them, but you know that the process has not always been pretty. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes you have tears in your eyes. Sometimes you have to show up on the days that you really don't feel like it because you made that commitment to yourself. So that's what actionable steps look like for me. And that's what I did in 2024. I ended up doing a rebrand photo shoot, and that was the first photo shoot that I ever had. I invested into myself, and I am so thankful that I did it because it pushed me out of my comfort zone. I was so used to doing the same things, the same routine, and I was getting the same result by doing so. So you have to do things that you know will push you out of your comfort zone, and it's going to push you out there, okay? It's time for you to fly. You have done the prep work in your head. You have talked yourself through things. It is time for you to fly. My next tip is enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of becoming something new. That is my next tip for your ultimate rebrand. You want to make sure that you enjoy the process. Envision yourself on a road trip. You're on a road trip and you're going extremely fast the whole entire time. You're passing by trees, mountains, and everything, but you don't have time to look and take everything in because you're going so fast. You got to keep your eyes on the road. However, you're driving so fast, you get pulled over. Not only do you get pulled over, you're not even able to enjoy the scenery because now you're upset because you got pulled over. Now you have a ticket. It slowed your process down. You didn't get to your location on time. It caused delays. Instead, you want to enjoy the journey. Maybe go at the speed limit and maybe take in all the trees that you're seeing along the way. That's the same way with your rebrand journey. You don't want to be in a rush to do this, do that, and do this and do that because it's only going to delay your journey. You're going to get tired at some point. You're going to be tired of trying to move so fast. How about enjoy the journey and enjoy the process that you're in right now? And it doesn't have to look the same for everybody. It can look, different for you than it does for somebody else, and that's okay too. My fourth tip for today's video for you having your ultimate rebrand, you're going to start making your goals trackable. We all know that sometimes we can be caught up in the goal. We can be caught up in the thing that we want to achieve, and we feel like we haven't reached anything, or we feel like we haven't made any progress. It's because you're not tracking your progress. For example, if you want to lose weight, if you haven't even taken a before picture, how can you even know if you're losing anything? You have to make sure that you are making sure that your goals are trackable so that you can go back and look like, hey, yeah, I actually did do that. Or hey, yeah, I actually have lost weight. Or I have made progress on that goal that I set out for myself. You have to make sure that your goals are trackable. That is going to help you sustain your rebrand journey because you don't want to be so harsh and overly critical on ourselves, but because we're shifting our mindset, we're not even entertaining overly critical thoughts. If you happen to have a human moment, which we all do, just remember to go back and look at your progress. Go back and look at the things that you've written down, that you've made progress on that goal. That's going to not only help you stay motivated, it's going to help you stay determined, and it's going to actually help you get closer to the person that you want it to be. Tip number 5 to your ultimate rebrand, you're going to start being disciplined. If you have struggled with discipline over the years, now is the time for you to establish discipline in your life. You're going to have to start doing the things that you said that you were going to do, despite your mood. And sometimes that is hard to do, especially if you're a woman and you have a cycle or things just come up and your hormones, your mood changes. You have to not be set in your mood and set your mind on your discipline, whatever that looks like for you. So if you know that you're going to get up early now, that's what you do. Despite the fact that, yesterday didn't go so well, you're going to do it today because today is a new day because you're disciplined. Every day may not look the same, but the majority of your days needs to be rooted in discipline. Tip number 6 to your ultimate rebrand, it is time for you to create daily habits and routines of the person you have always dreamed of. It is time for you to set the tone. Be that person that you know you want to be. How do they show up? And I've talked about this in previous videos, but you have to be that version of yourself now. You can't wait until you get there. You have to do it now. If the person that you desire to be prioritizes their goals, they are on top of their eating habits, they take care of themselves, they dress well, they exercise, they have good interactions with people, you have to start being that person now, even before you feel like you're ready. You don't have to be ready in order to be that version of you. You have to be the version of you that you want to be now. And sometimes what that looks like is analyzing your daily routine. Analyze your current routines and ask yourself, is this beneficial to my future self? AI is so popular now. Some people may be against AI, but if you're not, maybe ask ChatGPT to create your dream life. Give it a list of things that you want to include in your dream life. Give it a list of things that you want to include in your daily habits, and ask it to create a day in the life for you as your future self. And that can give you a little bit of direction as to what you should be doing now. Of course, whatever doesn't work for you, leave that out. But what I'm saying is try to track what is working, like I mentioned before, and actually work on those routines and embody the person that you want to become. Do it now. Don't wait till you feel like you get there. You have to do it today, because if you don't, it's only going to hold you back from the end result, which is this rebrand, this new version of you. You want to make sure that you start working on the things now. My last and final tip for your ultimate rebrand in 2025 is to hold yourself accountable. This rebrand journey, again, is not for aesthetics. It's not just to look cute. That means that you have to hold yourself accountable for the things that you said that you were going to do. The promises that you make to yourself, you have to keep them. I've mentioned this before in plenty of videos. It is so important for you to keep the promises that you make to yourself, because how can you be that version of yourself if you're not keeping your promises, if you're letting yourself down? Or how can you even attract the type of partner that you want if you are not showing up for you? You want other people to show up for you, however, you always letting you down. You can't do that. This new version of yourself, and this new version, she takes herself seriously, she holds herself accountable, and she takes actionable steps to be that person that she said that she was. This looks like maybe making a weekly or daily checklist to make sure that you're completing the tasks that you have for that day. It could also look like finding an accountability partner, whether that could be your parent, that could be your mom or dad, that could be a sibling or a friend or a partner. But ultimately, find somebody that's going to hold you accountable. Find somebody who isn't going to make excuses for you, or who isn't going to justify your actions, especially if you know that you're not doing something that you're supposed to be doing. Make sure that you have that accountability partner. If you don't have anybody, you may have to be your own accountability partner, or even find like an online coach or something, or a mentor that is going to hold you accountable and hold you to the things that you said you were going to do. This can also look like consequences and rewards. So for example, if you say that you're going to work out every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and you haven't missed a day, reward yourself, maybe with a spa day, maybe get your nails done or your toes done, get your hair done, do something for yourself, or go shopping, whatever that looks like for you. Treat yourself to a cheat meal. Make sure that you reward yourself for the effort that you've been putting in, because that is important too. You want to create balance in your life, and I always believe in balance. If that's one thing about me, I'm not too much on anything. I feel like too much of even a good thing can be a bad thing. So you want to make sure that your life is very balanced. You want to make sure that you're rewarding yourself just as much as you are holding yourself accountable or providing those consequences for yourself. You know, say if you missed a day at the gym and you said that you were going to go the 5 days, maybe you have to do 2 extra days on top of that. Whatever that looks like for you, but make sure that you are providing yourself with consequences, but also rewards as well for your hard work. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you are getting rid of the excuses and you're taking ownership. You're no longer saying, oh, I didn't have time. No, I didn't prioritize it. You want to say that instead, because that is going to recorrect your brain and like, okay, I actually did have time, but I didn't make it a priority. And that's okay too, but it allows you to have that check system for yourself. Sometimes we have to check ourselves and be like, you know what? I did have time. It just wasn't of importance to me at that moment. The sooner you take full responsibility for your own life and your own actions, because this life is yours, and you get to create it however you desire. So just keep that in mind, because that gives you responsibility, and it also taps into that accountability piece that I mentioned as well. So that is going to be the end of my rebrand journey and how to level up in 2025. I have so many things in line for you guys when it comes to this topic, because like I mentioned before, if anybody knows about a rebrand, just look at my old videos. I have rebranded, I have evolved. I am continuously doing so, because there is a certain version of myself that I plan to achieve, and I will get there. And I am enjoying the process of becoming her. Make sure that you stay tuned, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you did find some tips that were valuable within today's video, make sure that you share today's video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
First time in a long time.